So one thing that I noticed is the diversity in the range and spectrum of characters that were involved. So you have anyone from the homophobic church figures to the gay and lesbian characters and friends of Matthew. And I also thought it was interesting how people were so willing to give their honest opinions about gay people, even given the situation. And it didn't matter if they were positive or negative. And so one concern that I picked up on is that something like this could happen again in Laramie, and it was mainly attached to the LGBT community there. And it suggests that the characters in the play feel sorry for what happened to Matthew, but nothing is being done to prevent another incident from happening. And Jonas Slonaker, the gay University of Wyoming student, discusses how they haven't passed anything at the state level for anti-discrimination or anti-hate crimes. And then another value I picked up on is that homosexuality is not something to be condoned, is mainly attached to the religious figures and most of the interviewed adults in the play. And it suggests that the play has a wide spectrum of people involved, like I mentioned earlier, and that it makes it more real and close to home. And then all of the religious figures interviewed said that they tolerate gay people but do not condone their lifestyles. And so the Baptist minister saying that even though what the boys did was wrong, he hopes Matthew had time to reflect on how his lifestyle choices got him where he was and how that affected him. So one thing that I wanted to do a little bit more research on was Baptist and Catholic views on gay people. And so Baptist views are not supportive and believe that homosexuality is a choice and it's something that can be overcome. Catholic views do not necessarily consider homosexual orientation to be sinful, but they have very negative views on it, and they believe that homosexuals are called to chastity. It helps to grasp why the religious figures thought the way they did, and most of Laramie belonged to these two religious groups, and so it makes sense why a lot of Laramie residents had negative opinions about the LGBT community. And so I thought Laramie was depicted as a conservative, quiet, predominantly white town, and the people who live there tend to stay there for generations, such as Sergeant Hinks said he was third generation in Laramie. And most townspeople tolerated the homosexual community, but their religious views did not accept them as valid human beings. So Reverend Fred Phelps at Matthew's funeral saying that if homosexuality isn't a sin, why does God put them in hell? And that Matthew had a choice to escape this lifestyle. And the theater project wanted us to walk away thinking that we need to be more accepting, and incidents like this could happen again and more often than we think, and we need to be aware the people we're around. And this could absolutely happen in Columbus. There's a lot more people and a lot of differing opinions and backgrounds that could unfortunately result in situations such as this. And so one element of the Laramie project that differed from Intimate Apparel is that this had a lot more characters, and the amount of perspectives expressed throughout the play give it a deeper meaning, keeps the audience with an open mind and intently listening. And another element was that not the climax, but the incident was directly discussed at the very beginning versus in Intimate Apparel, it was discussed towards the end. And then the Laramie project has multiple locations versus Intimate Apparel has only a few, and it makes the storytelling more exciting and engaging, and it creates the meaning that Matthew Shepard meant different things to different people. And then two questions that I have was, when Russell apologized during his court hearing, do you think it was sincere, or do you think he was just saying that to potentially get his sentencing to lighten up? And then a second question was that, do you think the boys felt threatened when they were around Matthew at the bar, or do you think they were just acting out of anger and confusion?